All right, welcome back in Oklahoma. Another special legislative session, just wrapped up at the state capitol last week. And this morning, we were joined by House Speaker Kyle Hilbert talking about some of the things Oklahomans might see changing with some new laws now passed. Appreciate you being here, Kyle.
Great to be here as always.
Great to have you. Yeah, just wrapped up. A lot of things that you guys were focused on. I wanted to start with, we'll go through some of the topics. Start with education, right? I know that was a big focus for you. The Strong Readers Act, I wanted to ask about that, which has made it through. For third graders who might be struggling with reading, they may be held back now and get some extra coaching. What was the idea behind that, and how is that exactly going to work? What should people expect from that?
Yeah, Oklahomans are sick and tired of being at or near the bottom of education rankings. So over the past year, I've been speaking all across the state talking about education. What I often do is I ask for a show of hands if anyone in the crowd believes we're in the top 45 in education. And every now and then I'll get one or two hands, you know? And I think if very few Oklahomans believe we're in the top 45, then something's wrong. Fortunately, we can look to other states, and that's one of the great things about how state legislatures work is you can steal ideas from other states. And over the course of the past decade, Mississippi has had the Mississippi Miracle, where they've really had great improvements in their early literacy outcomes. In fact, last year they were 9th place nationally in their 4th grade NAEP scores. While they're spending about the same amount that we're spending in education in Oklahoma, and they have worse poverty. So we simply ask the question, Mississippi did it, why can't Oklahoma?
In literacy specifically, right? Because that's the building block. If we don't get literacy, it's hard to see a student excel and continue to progress. So that was the focus there. Artificial intelligence, data centers. Man, that's been a big topic recently. Data centers popping up all across Oklahoma. Big concerns from people in some of the places that they're showing up. You guys have put a lot of focus on that. The Data Center Customer Ratepayer Protection Act was, I know, a big focus that passed through. Tell us about this, trying to protect everyday Oklahomans from the potential concerns and costs of a data center, right?
Yeah, our Energy Oversight Chairman, Brad Bowles from Marlow, introduced that legislation. I believe when he introduced it, it's first of its kind in the country. I think some other states are looking to copy it, but what it does is it would prohibit data centers from having their power consumption, their power needs subsidized by individual ratepayers and homeowners. And so if data centers want to come in, that's fine, but they're going to have to pay their own way, which is really in line with what President Trump has advocated for as well.
Something we'll probably keep seeing as a topic, data centers and artificial intelligence. With healthcare, I know you guys made some progress. I wanted to ask you about the Medicaid expansion, though, and is that something that's going to lead to a special session? Have you talked to the governor? Will you guys be headed back to the Capitol, you think, for some more work?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, I just finished my 10th regular session. I think I've had as many special sessions as there are regular sessions. And so if history is any precedent for the future, if you bet against a special session, you're kind of betting on the wrong side most of the time. But we'll see. I do think Medicaid is an important question. It was unfortunate it wasn't able to get across the finish line and get on the ballot this fall for voters to make decisions on. But we're going to continue to have discussions about Medicaid. Whether or not there is a state question, that is going to be a big part of the conversation next year. This past year, the state Medicaid director asked for a $500 million increase in recurring Medicaid spend. We did end up increasing it by $250 million, but those costs are just going to continue to go up, and we have to look at what's best for taxpayers and where do we get the most bang for our buck.
So there is still work to be done. What work do you think? What do you think still needs to be done, or maybe what was left on the table this session?
Yeah, so one of the things that was left on the table is right now the way it's worded in our state constitution, the traditional Medicaid population, age blind and disabled population on Medicaid is treated the same as able-bodied adults. And I simply don't believe, members of the House don't believe that the able-bodied adult population should be treated the same as the traditional Medicaid population. So we had proposals, ultimately didn't get on the ballot this fall that would have revised that.
We'll see what the governor decides. Overall, what would be your message to Oklahomans as we come out of this legislative session and the work you guys did there? What do you feel like was the biggest success, I guess, for you guys?
Yeah, I know we started talking about education, but I got to circle back to that because truly, from the time you enter education, from preschool to the 3rd grade, you learn to read. And you do that so that from the 4th grade onward, you can read to learn. And so for us in Oklahoma this year, we really planted our flag in the ground that we're going to have strong standards for literacy. We're going to support teachers. We're going to have strong investments. We more than doubled our funding for the Strong Readers Act. We invested over almost $250 million increase in public education for this upcoming school year. That's after years and years of continued investment. And so what this is going to allow is for really better outcomes for our kids, because our kids deserve it, and Oklahomans are demanding better outcomes.
And we'll go back to healthcare, because I know we talked about there could be a special session. Something that you guys did make progress with, Leo's Law, introducing more strict criminal penalties for fentanyl and possible charges being more heightened for anyone who's involved with that. Tell us about that. Why fentanyl has been such a big focus? I mean, across the country, but why did you guys decide to do something here in Oklahoma?
Yeah, and I really appreciate a constituent of mine who lost his son, Leo, when he was very young and tragically was exposed to fentanyl. And that father has really taken it on himself to go champion Leo's cause, not only in Oklahoma, but across the country. I know he had a state legislator in California introduce a bill, also had meetings in Washington, D.C., really advocating for his son and really making sure what happened to his son doesn't happen to anyone else. And so fentanyl is really a scourge, not only in Oklahoma, but across the United States of America. And whatever we can do to help protect kids, we've got to do it. And so really was thrilled to see that legislation get across the finish line.
Hopefully it makes some progress. Okay, so legislative session over, maybe a special session. What else are lawmakers doing at this time and when the session ends for people at home who don't know?
Well, it's 4 weeks from Election Day. Everybody for the primary elections, and of course for many seats that is the prime election, is for many seats that are very red districts, for Republican, blue districts, Democrat seats. And so a lot of my colleagues, myself included, we're on the ballot in 4 weeks. And so on the doorstep, talking to voters, sending mail out, answering phone calls, and really that is our democracy. That's how it works, right? Is folks go to the ballot box, and we're up for election every 2 years.
We look forward to seeing what happens in June.
Yeah.
Kyle, we appreciate you, Speaker, so much for coming in, as always.
Thanks for having
Great
me.
to have you. Hope to have you back here on KOCO 5 News at 11 soon.